my painting business to 72K a month thanks to my leadership skills. And in this video, I'm going to tell you my 3 most valuable lessons that help me achieve huge business growth in a short amount of time so you can apply it for yourself. So the first step is identifying what you can delegate, right? So you want to know what you can delegate. So looking back at my life, I was always working, yet I was not getting the results I was looking for. I was always feeling overwhelmed and burnt out because when you work all day and you don't get the results you're looking for, it's not the best feeling, trust me. So one day I was tired of feeling that I was not making any progress. I made the decision to slow down and analyze where my time was going. And I had to start taking action on the things that I feared the most. And those things were the ones that actually moved my business forward. The more actions I took on these things, the more I grew and the faster I learned. So for the first time in my life, I started to see results financially. And it made me realize to get results faster, you have to slow down first before you speed up. So I started by analyzing all the tasks I was handling. Some were repetitive, like replying to emails, managing social media. They didn't need my direct attention, but I was still doing them every single day. And the solution was make a list of all your daily tasks. So you're gonna have your list, which is this one right here. And I want you to point out what do you do every single day. Once you have mapped out what you do every single day, I want you to circle the ones that don't require your skills, that can be delegated. It doesn't have crazy skills levels, right? These are the ones you can actually delegate. Even if they feel hard at first to let go of initially, you're not losing control by delegating. Instead, you're freeing yourself so you can focus on the tasks that only you can handle. And that will actually help your business grow. So write down all the tasks that you do in a day and pick the easiest ones to delegate first. So I want you to start with small steps in order for you to start building that confidence in letting others take control. For example, if you're still doing your laundry, I want you to outsource that immediately. Someone who can do that laundry for you. If you're still cooking, you need to hire a chef who comes prep your meals for the whole week, right? He might take 5 hours one single day, but then you have meals for the whole week. But that way you get time back because trust me, when I used to cook, I would say, if I could just speed it up, I'll be quick. But in reality, you have to think of what to eat. You start thinking, oh, okay, so what's in the fridge? You start checking, there's no, I don't want that. Okay. 30 minutes already passed and you haven't even decided what to eat. Then you start cooking itself. It takes another hour, an hour and 30 minutes. Then you have to serve the food and the eating itself. You notice 3 hours have gone past. So you might as well outsource that to someone else. It takes 5 hours for the whole week. All you have to do is heat up your meals and eat them and go back to work, right? So you're still cooking. That's something you should focus on delegating. So once I started to identify tasks to delegate, the next step is finding the right people to help you, right? So you need to hire the right people. You cannot just hire anybody. So when I hire people now, I look for people who are passionate about the work, not just someone filling in a role, right? The reason why is because I know that their dedication will impact the quality of the work. So don't settle just for anyone. Look for people with the right attitude and potential to grow with you. Someone who cares about the role will help you achieve your bigger goals. If you try to go solo forever, you miss the incredible growth that comes from a dedicated team. Remember, you cannot build an empire alone. You have to start small, maybe a virtual assistant or a high schooler doing a part-time job. You start doing this so you can use the feeling of delegating tasks to other people. And it reminds me of the first time I actually hired a door knocker. I was very skeptical to let someone knock doors for me, but it was worth it once I started to teach them how to actually knock doors, because now I was getting estimates without having to be outside. It was such high leverage to spend those days and weeks teaching them, because now they had the skill, they knew how to do it, they could go and do it without me, and all I had to do was just give them some training on how to do it better in each time to improve the result. So make sure that you're finding the right people. It doesn't have to be talented people. When I hire people now, I think of someone who has high energy, right? So you want to make sure they have high energy. You also want to make sure that they're positive, right? So whatever thoughts they're thinking, it's actually positive stuff. You don't want a negative person. You don't want guys who are low in energy because first of all, they're gonna drain the fuck out of you. And second of all, you cannot teach dedication, happiness, and enthusiasm, right? All these things come from the person itself. So you can teach anything. For example, you want to hire a sales rep, like a door knocker, make sure that you hire someone who at least likes talking to people. Because if you hire someone who hates people, no matter how good your script is, they're not gonna succeed in that field. But you can have someone who doesn't know how to sell, doesn't know how to handle objection. But if they like people and you give them a good script and you give them the time and patience to train them, trust me, those guys are gonna become killer salesmen for your company. So once you have the right people, this is the most important step, and that one is to trust the process. So what do I mean by this? Once I had the right team, the next challenge, learning to trust them. When I hired my crew of painters, my mom was the one that managed them, and she still needed to learn a lot about leadership. So I was very hesitant to trust her completely, especially how my mom is. She's very impatient. But I realized that I can simply teach my mom how to be a better leader and then see her performance by the way she manages the painters, right? So I would talk to the painters. How is she doing? How is she treating you guys? Okay. Then I would get some complaints sometimes, and then I would teach her to be more patient, to not just give orders, to ask questions, right? Things like that. And that comes with perseverance and just patience itself. So at the end, my mom learned to be more patient with the painters. And this created a good culture where the team felt good. And it made me realize that you have to trust the process of teaching others in your team before you disregard them and fire them completely. So after you delegate a task, let your team do things their own way, right? So this is when most entrepreneurs come in and they battle with this opinion. Right? Most entrepreneurs, when they don't see things going their own way, they step in and be like, here, let me do it, right? They don't even coach them on how to do it correctly. How can you expect someone to do things the right way when you haven't even taken the time to coach them? So if you see someone in your team that you just hired struggle with some parts of the job, you can come in and coach them. There's nothing wrong with that. If the job is not getting done the way you want it, then you need to coach them once again. And it takes work, but you have to make sure that everyone knows how to do their role correctly, and then allow your team to take ownership of their work, because this will boost their confidence and your growth. And it does require a lot of work and a lot of patience, patience to the point where you have to stop yourself from choking your team members because they're not listening to you, right? But you also have to learn how to coach. So the most really important part is that if you don't know how to coach, if you think that being a leader is just about giving orders, then you don't even know what a leader is, because a leader is supposed to be someone who asks questions, who identifies how they can help their teams. Instead of seeing it as you have employees that work for you, you have to switch your mindset to I have employees that I work for them. How can I make them succeed? How can I make them better? How can I make them excel at their position? And when you do that, you get a lot back. So like it says, the quote, you give first before they give back to you, right? So yeah, that's all for the video today. I hope you liked it. If you like this type of videos, go check my channel. Without further ado, have an amazing day. Goodbye.